Hello friends, this is Amashama here. So today in this video we are going to see how we can create a to-do list using PyScript. Yes, we are going to use Python in the HTML instead of JavaScript. So we have the new library, so that is PyScript. So this enables us to use Python in the HTML. So now before going to the demo of the application, so we are going to see what is this PyScript and how we can use this PyScript. So this is the PyScript website. So just go to pyscript.net in your browser and you will get this website, and here you can see that we can run Python in your HTML with the help of PyScript. So here this one is the HTML tag and this is the rest of code that we use in HTML, and we can insert the PyScript tag and we can run PyScript here. So now how we can access this PyScript tag? So for that we have two methods. Either you have to download the PyScript, so you can download the PyScript and you can include in your HTML file like this, or the second method is using the CDN. So we can use the CDN as well. So here we have the script tag, so we have to use the script tag as it is having the pyscript.js. So because it is a CDN, so that's why. So now here something is written here. So please be advised that PyScript is very alpha version and under heavy development. So it is under heavy development. So this means that it has many issues, it has many errors. So only use this for the development purposes, not use this for the production purpose. It is recommended here. So now you can learn about this PyScript, like what the PyScript is using. So we can run Python in browser. So we will be having the Python ecosystem. We can run many popular packages such as NumPy, Pandas, and we can use machine learning here as well, and data analysis as well under this. So now we can also use Python with JavaScript. So here there is a bi-directional communication between Python and JavaScript objects and its namespaces. So there it is having the environment management. So whatever the file we are using here, like if we are using sub files, then we can mention those files in the environment and we can include that in the main Python file. And then we have this visually application development, and this is flexible framework. So using the CDN, in this video we will be using the CDN to access the PyScript, and we will be having this script tag and this link tag. So this script tag will enable us the PyScript tag here. So we can use PyScript using this CDN. So here we have the CSS as well. So this is a PyScript CSS. So this means that we don't have to use any other library, any other UI framework, CSS framework like Bootstrap and like any other framework. So by default PyScript is having Tailwind CSS. So we can use Tailwind CSS including this CSS file of the PyScript. So now without wasting any time, so let's get in the coding section. So guys, this is our coding section here, and you can see that I have already created index.html and style.css file. So here I have already created the form and the stuff. So in the style.css you can see that in the heading just I have the color for this one for the heading tag, and you can see that actually we actually don't need any CSS. So but for now this we have the CSS here, and here I'm using Tailwind classes. So you can see that here we have HTML and just I have linked the simple CSS, and this is just a basic HTML. I have used the classes for Tailwind.css. I'm not going to explain that, explain those classes. I'm expecting that you know the Tailwind.css, and here you can also create your own CSS here. So you can see that we have the class this one as screen for the full screen here for the height, and overflow is the hidden, so that we want. and we have this one h1 tag is here, that is simply heading, and then we have the errors. So here we will show all the errors. So errors such as when the user will click on the submit button, but here the user haven't added any data in the field, so it will give us the error like please add the data in the field. And then we have the main section, so that deal with the everything. So we have the main container here, then we have the section, and under that we have this form and add button. So here we have simple dummy section here, so that is for the row, and here all our items will be there. And then you can see that we are also having the template. So we will be using this template to insert the items so that the user will be creating in this UL using the PyScript. So I will tell you why we need this template here. So for now I have commented the template, but you can uncomment it also. Like first of all I am commented it, and here you can see that when I am refreshing here, so you can see that our server is running on the localhost 55,000. So I am using the live server here, so on the port 5500. So you can also use this live server, and here user is simply having the add to do button is there. So this one no CSS is applied for now, but as we are using Tailwind CSS, so that is already embedded in the TypeScript. So now let's see how we can embed this CDN here. So just I'm going to the pyscript.net, click on install, and here just copy this all code. Copy this and just go to the coding section, and here I'm going to write here PyScript CDN, and we have both HTML and script here. So now when you will save this and you will go to the browser here, so you can see that our CSS is already applied because I have already added the Tailwind.css classes. So here you can see that now our PyScript is fully loaded and we can use the PyScript here as well. So you can see that environment setup is done, so everything is done here. Python initialization complete, and it is running. So now we can use the PyScript here. So let's see how we can use the PyScript under the HTML. So now we can use the PyScript here. So let's write PyScript. So our PyScript tag is enabled, so we can use that. So PyScript. So we have the two ways to write the PyScript here. So either you can add the source file, you can get the new file that is .py file, and then you can write the Python code there, and you can write the Python code here as well. Like I am writing the print hello world. Just save this. So now it is loading the runtime, and let's see. So now we can see that hello world is there, but I will recommend you to create a new file here. So let's do that. Let's create a new file that is main.py. So as your code will be very clean here. So here how you can mention this file, so that just mention the source here, like in the JavaScript you do, and then main.py. So here when I will write print hello world, just save this. And now when you will go to the coding section, you will go to the browser here. It will load runtime again because our browser refreshed automatically, and you can see that we have the hello world here. So this means that this is working perfectly. So now we are going to create the functionality of add to do list, add to do. So user will add to do, and the user will have the functionality to complete the to do. User will click on the checkbox and it will be completed. So this functionality we are going to create. So let's do that. So here what will be our first task? So first task will be that, so we have to make this, we have to get the value of this input, and we have to make this button clickable. So how we can do that? So here what I'm going to do, so first of all I'm going to create new list, so that will be having the task. So here our all tasks will be added here. So here we are going to get the all the elements, and we have to first of all get the to do input. So you can see that we have this id as to do input here, so we have to mention the id. So here we are going to use this id here. So to do input, I am creating a variable, and then we have the element. So here we have the element in the PyScript, so where we can mention the element here, element id. So with the help of that, this element id will be this element will be get selected. So now just I'm consoling this. So console.log our to do input. So this, as we saw that Python and JavaScript are bidirectional, so this means that we can use this console log as well as in this PyScript. So here when I am in the DevTools, so you can see that, so I am reloading it again. So you can see that we have some proxy here. So we have some proxy here, and in the proxy we have the object, and you can see that we have apply delete property. We can delete any property, we can get, or these things are there. So now we have PyProxy class as well. So you can see that this type of proxy is there, but we are not getting the element. So how we can access the element here? So to access the element, we can use dot element. So we can use dot element. So this will to do input dot element will give us the access to the original element. So now you can see it here. So it is reloading. So just wait for a while. So now you can see that we have the input here. So when I am hovering on it, you can see that we have the particular input. So this means that this is working perfectly. Now let's make this button clickable. So how we can do that? So to make this button clickable, so first of all I am defining the function here. So that will be add to do, and it will take some arguments. So let's write like this, some arguments here, and then just I'm writing the console.log button clicked. Button clicked. Just save this. Now let's go here. So here what we can do here. So like on click in the JavaScript, we have the on click here, but in the PyScript we have the same on click, same event handler. So that is pys. So pys on click. So this pys means PyScript, and this is on click here. So means PyScript on click handler. And here we are going to add to do. Just save this. So now go here. So it is loading the runtime. Just wait for that. And when I will click on the add button, so it is actually first time it is actually collecting the nodes. Let's click on add button again. So you can see that we have the button clicked. Click on add, we have the button clicked. So this means that this is working perfectly. So let's go back to the coding section here. So here what we are going to do now. So now this means that we are getting button click. So here first of all we have to get the value of the input. So here what I will write input value. So input value will be, so first of all we have to get the to do input element. So as I have told you previously, like we can access element with dot element property, and with dot value property we can access its current value. So here we will check if value is there, then we are going to do something. So just console log. So console log the input value. Now there is a else condition. So if it is not having value, so then what we are going to do here. So here we have to create new thing. So that thing we will get the error here. So we have the id as the error. So now with the help of this id we are going to get this element. So let's do that. So error element. So there will be the element, and then we will be having the id as error, and just write element. So then what we are going to do here, so here the element inner HTML will be please enter a to do, otherwise error will not be there. So error element dot inner HTML will be null. Just save this and now let's test it here. Yeah, here we have to test it. So inspect element, actually it is loading the runtime. Let's wait for a while. So runtime loaded successfully. So whenever I will click on the add button, you can see that we are getting the error. So that is please enter a to do. So until we are not entering a to do, so it will not do anything here. So now when I will add to do here like test to do and just press on the add button, so you can see that our error is gone now and we have this test to do in the console log. So you can see that in the console here, and we are not having any error here. So now let's move forward and let's go ahead. So here what we are going to do now, so now we are going to take the help of this template here. So you can see that if I'm commenting the template, nothing is there. So when I will uncomment the template, so here will be nothing. So it is loading. You can see that there is not any effect in the UI because in that we are using it as a template. So that tag is a template tag, so this means that we are using it as a template. So we will be using this template in the PyScript so that whenever the user is adding any to do, so we will just directly embed this template to the UL here. So now let's see how we can embed this template. So now we have a template here. So we will be taking the template ID. So just copy this, and here we will be having the template. So let's write template, and we will be having the element template. And as we have this task template here, now here inside the template what we want to do, so inside the template what we want to do here, so inside the template we have to select this task. So with the class we have to select this task because we are going to embed this task only, we don't have to embed the template. So for that what we are going to do here, so if we want to select the child element under the parent element, so we will be using the select here. So select, and what we are going to select, so we are going to select a task, and here we have to mention one thing here, like for content from content true here. So from content true we have to mention here. So means from the content we are going to we are selecting this task here. So now when I will console log this task, so let's console log this task here, template. So let's see what you are seeing here. So here let's go and let's wait for its loading runtime. So here just click test to do here, and when I will click on the add, so we have the proxy here. So same thing we have the proxy. So this means that we have to select this element here. So here we can write element. So element, just save it. So now what it will do here, so it will give us that particular element, so that is under the template. Just click on test to do and click on add. So you can see that we have now this li with input type this one and with paragraph. So now what we have to do here, so first of all we have to create the ID, because we have to mention the ID here as well, and then we have to create one task object, so that object we can push to the task list. And after that we have to copy this li here, so we can't do under this li, so we have to clone this element. So after cloning this element, we have to select the input, and we have to select the input. So because we have to select the checkbox, we are going to add the on click event under the checkbox. So whenever user will be clicking on the checkbox, so what will happen, so that function we also have to create. So for now we are going to select the paragraph tag, and then we are going to add the text, this one, and we are going to append it. So we are going to append it. So before that, so let's first of all create the object here. So for that, what we are going to do, so here I'm going to create the object. So that object will be let it be ID, so to do ID. So what will be the to do ID here? So to do ID will be the length of the task, so it will be the length of the task plus, so I'm going to format this, so format this, so it will be the length of the task, so it will be the length of the task plus we are going to get the text, so that text will be like temp or to do, so to do hyphen and the length of the task here. And then here we will be having the object, so that is to do, so we have the to do here, so that is the dictionary, so that will be the dictionary. So first of all we need the ID, so ID will be the to do ID, and then we need the text, so text will be the input value, and then if it is done or not done, and just we are going to append that in the tasks here in the list. So when I'm going to console log the list, so console.log the task, so let's see what we are getting here. So it is loading the runtime, so every time it will take little while. Yeah, so here test to do, so when I'm going to click on add to do here, so here we have some error, so that is int. So for the int we have some errors, so because this length is an integer, it can't be added concatenated with the string. So you have two methods, you can either format the string or you can just change this one to the string here. So just change this one to the string, so your thing will be done. So it is loading the runtime, let's wait for a while, and test to do here, just click on add, so we have the proxy. So now you can see that we have the proxy here, but we don't have any element here, so we have the proxy. So here now let's move forward here. So what we are going to do here, so now we have to append the element, we have to clone this template, and we have to append the element to the items here. So for that we have to get the items, so I'm getting here items will be element items, just save this. So now let's move forward. So now what we have to do here, so here first of all we have to clone the template here, and we have the items as well. So instead of this item, so let it be list, so we have the list here, and then here what we are going to do, so here we are going to change this one, so this one will be same, but we are going to format this. So how we can format this here, so like here we will be having the f, and then we will be having the to do, and then length, and then we will be having the length of the task here. So this formatting is there, so we don't need to use this. We don't need to use string here. We don't have to change this integer to string. So now let's move forward and let's create a new task. So for that we are going to clone the node. So that will be task here. So let it be task. So here the task will be, we are going to clone the template. So template dot clone. So we are going to clone the template. So here we have to mention two things here. So what are those two things? So first of all we have to mention the ID. So ID of the element that we have to mention. So when we are going to clone the template, so then this will come here. So this will be cloned and first argument will be the ID. So what will be the ID of this one? Because every li will be having the different ID. So we will clone this many times, so our ID should not be same. So that's why we have created the ID here. So ID will be to do ID, and then we have to mention the second parameter here. So what will be the second parameter? So second parameter is that, so where we want to clone. So that we can use here like to. So where we have to clone this? So we have to clone this under the list here. So just add the list here. So this will clone under the list because we have to clone to the list only. So that's why we will give the reference of the list. And then here what we have to do now, so we have to select the task element here. So content, so task.content. So let's select from the task, we have to select the paragraph tag. So let's select the paragraph tag. So now we have to add the inner HTML. So we have the paragraph tag dot element dot inner HTML. So we have to select the element first, and then the inner HTML will be the input value, and then we have to select the checkbox, and after that our by default the checked will be false and disabled will also be false here. So here we don't have to add the onChange event for now. So for now we are just going to append there. So for that just write items list dot append. So we are going to append this task here. Just save this. So now we can see the changes. So let's move to the browser. So here it is loading the runtime. So here will be test to do. So whenever we click on the add here, so we have some errors. So here this error is because element is not having any attribute append here. So we have to append the child. So for that we have to select the element first. Let's select the element. So now we have the element, then we have to append the child here. That child is the task. So just save it. Now we will not be having any errors. So it is loading the runtime. Let's wait for that. So now we can add test to do here. Just click on add button. So here we have one error like failed to execute append child on node, parameter 1 is not of type node. So this parameter is not of type node. So we have to append the element here. Just save this. Test to do, just click on add. Now you can see that we have the test to do here, but this one is not working. So you can see that we have created the test to do, but this input is not getting cleared. So we have to clear this input as well. and whenever user will click on this one, so user will click on this one, then we will create a strike through here. So and this button will be disabled, so this means that we have to complete the to do. So here test to do 2, click on add, like we have test to do 2 as well. So now let's move forward and let's first of all clear the element. So to do input dot clear, and now here we will append, we will first of all create a remove task. So this function will be created, so that will be the complete task. So instead of remove task, we will be having the complete task. So now then here what we will do, so here we will be having the task here. So now you can see that we have the checkbox already, so now we can use this checkbox also here. So here let's use this checkbox. So task checkbox, so we are going to select the input here. So we have to because we have already selected the input, we don't have to worry about that. So let's select the element here. So now we have the element. So here what we are going to do, so we have to check this. So we have to check this, so this will be the true here, and after that, so we have the disable this, and that's good. And then we have to add the text decoration. So in what we have to add the text decoration, in the task content we have to add the text decoration, line will be through here. So and what we are going to do, nothing we have to do here, so just line through will be there. And then here outside we have to add the on change event. So on the change we have to complete this task, so we can't define below this one, so that's why we have defined the function first and then did everything later. So now just save this. So now you will see the changes. So just add here test to do and click on add. So now you can see that we have this test to do here, but we have this error like on is not defined in the element. So this is because this is wrong here. So here we have to do one thing here. So instead of this on change, we have to apply here text box dot element dot, here we can add event listener as well, and I'm going to add the on click here. So on click we will be having the complete task here. Just save this. So now we will not be having any errors. So just write here test to do and click on add button. So now you can see that we have test to do here. So test to do 2, so that is test to do, click on add. So when I'm going to click on this one, so we have some errors that, so we have this element error here because element is not having any attribute. So this is because we have already applied the element here, so here we don't have to mention the element anymore for the text task checkbox here. So now just save this. Now we can try it again. Now the error will be resolved. So you will face sometimes these type of errors. So these are just simple errors, and you can resolve these type of errors as well. So just wait for this, and here just write test to do, click on add, and test to do 2, click on add. Simply click on this one. You can see that we have this one test to do strike through, but here you can see that the disabled is not getting through here. So let's see where we have some errors. So disable, so it should be disabled, but I don't know, it is not making this disable. So let's try it again. So here we are using the tailwind here, so you can see that we can accept the opacity as well. So if one is not working, we can use second one, but we have another issue here. So like when I'm using task to do and I'm clicking on add button, so I'm just checking this. So when you will go there and go to the elements here and you will go to the li, so everything is under the li here, so that's why we was not getting this disabled. So we have some little mistake here. So here instead of task we have to use the task checkbox. So there is task checkbox element here, and here what we are going to do here, so task checkbox element we are going to use. So because we have this task checkbox already, so that's why I'm creating a new variable, so that is task checkbox element. So now it is checked true, it is disabled true, and now everything will be working perfectly. So here I will add test to do here, click on add, just press this one. You can see that now it is disabled. I am not able to click here anymore. So test to do 2. So this was just the issue here. Just we can also complete this. So you can see that our simple to-do list is working perfectly. Now you can add more things, such as you can add more validations, and you can also create the delete button here. So the same method, same approach we will use. So if you like this video, please like this and subscribe our channel, and please share this video. So, and if you like this, please comment in the comment section, and if you have any queries, please comment in the comment section. I will definitely respond to that. At last, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next tutorial.